is your show.
This one's my show?
This is your show.
How?
You, organized everything. You got the guests. You did everything.
Bob, I organize it all the time.
Well, now you
I do it
especially
all
did
the time.
And I'm giving you credit. I'm letting people
thank
know
you.
this.
Thank you.
This is your baby.
I hope you didn't mean like, this is your show, take it away.
No, not at all.
Because if that's the case, then...
God, no. I'm not doing that. Are you kidding me? That's not happening.
We're having a format change?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, I don't think we want to do that. So, just about topics and such. I know. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Thanksgiving.
By the way, when you air this, and we've talked a lot about the Thanksgiving traditions, especially when everybody comes back home and then goes out and goes back home and does that. And if you get tired of your families, where to go and all that stuff. But the important thing is to spend time with your families, especially when you have the chance, because once they go away, those are less and less frequent. I was trying to think of the last time when we actually had all three kids together. I think it was summer, early summer maybe. It's been a while though, because now we've got none of the three currently live with us, but Scott is in college still. But now it's time to it's going to be a nice weekend. We're just going to hang out and.
Well, and then once they go away forever, sorry to be the Debbie Downer, but I think holidays hit a little differently. I'm fortunate that I have, all my family living, for my close family. But yeah, the holidays are also a time of maybe not feeling so great because you miss your family, I feel like. I ran into a couple of people at the bar last night that mentioned that, and it's just something that, like I said, I have not experienced, so I don't think about, but it's something that I think everyone should think about.
What?
It's your turn to talk, Randy. That's the cue.
Okay.
You and Marcy though have your holidays are usually non-traditional. Is that a good way to put it?
It depends on the holiday. Now, like tomorrow, we're having everybody out to our place. There's going to be last count I had was 16.
Wow.
Gonna be there.
Who's cooking?
Well, me and Marcy.
Okay.
As soon as I get done with this, I'm going home and I got a great big chunk of roast. It's going out on the grill with some mesquite pellets and whatnot, and that's gonna be my afternoon.
Nice.
And we've got a few things that Marcy's cooking. We're not having turkey this year. We're having Cornish game hens.
Oh,
interesting.
Those are little,
very stylish.
Is Brian gonna have 3?
Yeah, probably.
Where did you get them, if you don't mind me asking?
Marcy got them somewhere. I think she got them at Hy-Vee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But we had Cornish game hens, and she got a big piece of salmon, and we're cooking that. And
non-traditional.
then I'm cooking a big piece. Well, we usually have turkey, but this year I thought, let's do something different.
I think that sounds awesome.
All her family's coming out, and everybody gather around and stick a straw in the gravy bowl and get at it.
Eat, drink, and be merry.
Yep.
Ew. Are you a brown or white gravy?
For turkey?
Well, I guess that's always brown, isn't it?
Well, it's brownish. It's turkey. If it's turkey gravy, then it's kind of brown. It's light brown.
Yeah, it's not like dark brown like beef gravy.
Beef gravy, yeah.
It's not like the white gravy though. I don't think that's.
I know.
that's for
this
biscuits.
is like whatever, but I don't like gravy.
Okay.
I like
Leave.
Yeah, I know. I know. I make, I used to make Mayla's plate when she was younger, and I never put the, gravy on the mashed potatoes and
child abuse.
I guess, but I don't think she really likes gravy either.
What do you put on your mashed potatoes then?
They're just good because there's so much
pepper?
Butter in them. Yes, maybe I guess a little pepper.
Do you put extra butter or just the butter that's cooked in the potatoes? Do you put a dab of butter on the potatoes after the fact?
I would love to do that, but
what you do is you make a little crater in the middle of it and put a little drop of butter in there and let it just melt and just ooze out. And
gravy and
put a little garlic with it,
stuffing
too.
are like my two least favorites. What are your least favorites?
My least is stuffing.
Yep.
I despise stuffing.
I just said stuffing too.
You both said you don't like stuffing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, and it was originally when Mom and Dad were still here. Dad liked oyster stuffing, and I don't think so. And,
I do like that.
Mom would make him oyster stuffing, and then she'd make stuffing for everybody else, and she'd always put celery in it. And celery is one of my most hated things.
Even if it's chopped up teeny weeny.
Marcy believes firmly that I'm what's called a super taster. If I'm dead serious, if there is a piece of celery the size of a peppercorn. Just that's a little ground up pepper. I can taste it.
What about celery salt?
Celery salt, yeah, I know it's there. Yeah, and I said for years that someday when I die and when I go to hell, because it's pretty much preordained, that there'll be nothing to eat but celery and coconut and mushrooms, and all the furniture and clothes will be made of styrofoam. Because that squeak that styrofoam you get from that.
Yep.
That Christmas time was pure hell for me a lot of times. When I'd open a present,
You're making me cringe right now.
I'd open
hate that.
That is a bad sound.
I'd open a present and see what it was, and then to actually take the present out of the box, I'd have to go on the other end of the house and go nya 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 like that, and then Dad would come and wave at the window when he had it out of the box and put the styrofoam away.
Actually, now that I think about it, I mean, if you're looking at just the depth chart of Thanksgiving food, dressing is pretty low. Because I want there's like, if there was something I had to get rid of, except like if some green bean casserole there, I could do without that or whatever. But I want my potatoes, I want my turkey, I want my cranberry sauce, I want
Cranberry
rolls.
sauce. How do you like it? Like
I'm fine with a can. Open a can and pour it out and
Looks
the
like,
with the
like
ridges
dog
on it.
food.
Looks like hockey pucks. Looks like hockey pucks. That's
Dog
fine.
food.
We're doing 2 10-pound turkeys. We'll do one in the oven, and then I'm going to get up early tomorrow morning and smoke one. And that
How do
is
you light those?
well, you gotta hollow it out. And then, no, I am going to, because we will probably have some of our kids' friends will be probably stopping by, and they'll want to eat, and so we'll have plenty for everybody, and then we want enough for everybody to take back with them too when they go. So
I brought to-go containers in my list of things.
yeah.
Not only like for myself, but I did think about, there's a couple gentlemen at the bar that don't have anybody, so that'll be on their doorstep. And I plan on making an overabundance of food. My family is like, what? We don't need all this food. Like, we don't need, I'm like, but this is what the holiday is like gathering and
Right.
an overabundance of food. Like, don't damper on my favorite holiday.
Last
here.
year, I cooked a brisket out on our smoker grill, like one of these things like this. I was eating brisket for a month and a half after that, which was fine. But after a while, you're like, okay, let's find something else.
I love brisket, but it's just not worth the work.
I started at 3 in the afternoon. Oh no, I'm sorry. I started at 9 in the morning with the smoke in that thing, and at 3 o'clock the next morning is when I got done with it.
Yeah, it just takes too dang long.
Yeah.
Turkey, you can get one cranked out pretty quickly, but the brisket's just it's tough. So, and of course football. We have 3 games on now, and then in Quincy it's basketball because a lot of people go to the basketball game on Thursday night, and then Friday and Saturday.
I forgot that when Shane and I had coffee talk, we were talking about movies and the holidays, and I had the sports guy sitting right down with me, and he didn't even mention anything about that. But then I heard people talk about how they're going to take their kids to the basketball game on Thanksgiving night. And, good for them. But that's just, I don't know how some people are like, I have 2 Thanksgivings to go to, and then I'm going to take the kids to the basketball game. And I'm like, man, those bathrooms are going to be blowing up.
Well, for years when I did the PA announcing out at Quincy High, I did that. So this will be the first time in probably like 5 years or so that I've been there on Thanksgiving night. I probably won't go any of the rest of the weekend. We'll be doing stuff with the family. But it's nice. Again, it's fun. And then Shane, though, I don't know how much basketball he's covering, but I know he will be in Shelby on Saturday for the South Shelby playoff game. So I know he's doing that, and of course Matt will be at I know Matt will be at Blue Devil Gym, especially Saturday night. Because that's the championship night. That's also when Tom Lepper will go into the Hall of Fame, of course, a friend of ours who just passed away this past week. So it's going to be a very very moving ceremony there, I'm sure. And then, of course, Quincy Notre Dame's also got its tournament that it has. So, and all the local schools are starting. So so sports is definitely in full swing, and our guys are going to do a good job of covering that. But here it's kind of that time of year where we start looking back and doing our year in review stories, and then the government starts getting all their tax levies into place, and that's it's kind of a routine and ritual of stories we do basically now through the end of the year.
Party.
It's a it's a
I was
pattern.
going to say taxes.
So Randy gets to go to school board meetings and video those, so those are always fun as well. So, but no, I just want everybody to have a very, if you are traveling, be safe. Wish your loved ones to have a safe trip as well, because we want everybody to be, happy and healthy. And again, if you're going to drink, get an Uber or get a designated driver and all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
that's all I have for this part.
that's all I have too.
Producer woman.
Oh, okay. So now I need.
Well, I want to talk in depth about tax levies. No.
You want to talk about Ukraine? That's Frankie's show. So.
Well, on our show coming up, like we always do after break, we have a guest, and our guest is one of our own. I'm pretty excited about this because I want the world to get to know her like I've got to know her. Stay tuned for Miss Emma Dalke.
And one old muddy buddy to a new muddy buddy. How's that? You're the old one.
Thanks. It shows, too.
We're back.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
For more than 50 years, the holiday season is kicked off by the Holiday Gift Show in Quincy. On an upcoming Muddy River Gems brought to you by Dot Foods, we'll show you why.
Our vendors range from a bunch of different things, lots of handmade stuff, whether it be food or crafts, but then lots of people who sell clothing and non-pre-made food and just a bunch of other different things.
It's been going on for how long, this holiday
This
show?
year is our 56th year.
Wow! That's coming up on the next Muddy River Gem brought to you by Dot Foods.
All right, and welcome back, and welcome to the table, Emma.
Thank you.
Hi, Emma.
Hi.
I just saw you earlier today, but that's okay.
I work here.
You do work here. Yes, welcome, and we're glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here. I was supposed to come on a couple weeks ago, and now I finally made it. So
Yeah.
here we are.
Do we want to say why you weren't here? Or are you going to keep that to yourself?
I was sick. That's all you're getting.
It wasn't anything serious. She just didn't feel up to it, and that's fine.
And
so.
she didn't want to spread her germs
Yes.
like the responsible person that she is. And she is so responsible with everything that she does and all her mannerisms, including being on club. And I am the bartender that like pushes people even on club. I'm not a pusher, but I'm a pusher.
Yeah, you're a pusher.
Okay. So I kept telling Emma, I'm like, I brought you this lovely grape juice to drink, the Welch's grape juice, inside my Gypsy Tango Foxtrot plug.
Adult grape juice.
Yes. So it's it says Welch's contains alcohol. I got these at the liquor booth. They're great. There are other flavors too. And she just said no because she wanted to keep it clean and sober, and I like that about her. It's not just her that's doing that these days. It's a lot of younger people that are pretty sober curious.
I think so.
Yeah.
I do think so. I mean, a lot of my friends are still in that kind of young 20s, go out, party.
How old are you, may I ask?
I'm 24.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm still in my lower 20s.
But you, first off, she graduated from the finest journalism school in the world, University of Missouri, Columbia. But when you were there, and after you got out, you were bartender, hostess, waitress for a while, right? At Harpo's, which is the college bar in Columbia.
I was. I think I might be the only bartender in the world that didn't drink on my shift.
Really?
But at that point in my life, I was still in school. I did a 5th year because I double majored and had a minor and a certificate by the time I came out. And I was working at a bar to help pay for school. And I am thankful I worked there. I made a lot of friends I still have, even living in Quincy now. But I guess it's pretty ironic that I'm not really a drinker, and I was bartender for 4 years, server for 2.
No, I think some of the best bartenders I've heard are like, sober, especially in places that are busy.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this place was busy. I don't know.
Oh.
I've never been.
Packed,
Harpo's
shoulder
was-
to shoulder,
yeah.
on a football game,
It's
zoo football.
the college bar. in
Yeah,
Columbia.
I
It really
think
is.
you at that point, you just got to be moving and grooving, and there's really no point in having a few to let loose to talk to your customers because you're not talking to your customers. You are.
No, you are getting through people. And I would work 21-hour shifts there.
Wow.
We'd get there at 8 a.m.
Probably don't say that. Mm.
I don't think they're
I don't think the Missouri Department of Labor is watching right now. So.
But just like regardless of, I guess, that and like the bartending and whatnot, have you seen that though, like in your generation? Like, what is it that's doing that right now?
I don't really know. I can't say for sure, but I think that there is more of a drive to stay sober for a lot of people. Maybe, with our generation, we have such access to information now, and we've seen, people make mistakes online, the internet's forever, and I think people are just being safer about, how they go about things, and I don't know if that has to do with alcohol
I think it's
or
their generation watched their parents just get stupid drunk all the time and then said, I don't want to be like that and hungover. Not saying her parents, of course.
No, that is not my parents, but I think for a lot of people, they were tired
of
of seeing it. And, we were almost the generation that stopped smoking too.
But then those vapes came along.
They started marketing the mango-flavored vape.
Rotted your lungs with mold and all that crap. That's just
I see some young kids in the bar that say, like I say, can I get you something to drink? They're like, oh, I don't drink. I smoke weed and I do cocaine. I'm like, oh, my God.
Then why are you in a bar?
No kidding.
There's a scene, if you haven't caught the new, I'm not spoiling any spoilers here, but the new Taylor Sheridan Paramount series Landman with Billy Bob Thornton, John Hamm, Demi Moore. It's excellent, by the way. There's a scene in it, and Billy Bob Thornton plays the landman. He's like he's the guy who works the oil fields, and he's basically the guy that runs all the oil fields. And he's sitting at a bar drinking a Mick Ultra, and he keeps drinking it, and he has a couple, and the bartender goes, you want something stronger? He goes, do you really want, he goes, you want something to drink? And he goes, he said, wanted a whiskey or something stronger. And Billy Bob Thornton says, I quit drinking. He's like, well, you're drinking a Mick Ultra. And he goes, son, there's as much alcohol in orange juice as there is in this Michelob Ultra. And he's like, well, and the bartender had quit drinking. The bartender said, well, I've been clean for 8 years, and there's really no difference. He goes, son, you give me 6 of these sons of bitches, and then tomorrow I'm going to come in and you're going to give me 6 whiskeys, and you'll see if there's a difference. And then I got it. It's a great scene. And again, I love Billy Bob Thornton's one of my favorite actors anyway. So, but it was just that scene, and again, a bartender. So that was another case of there are bartenders who don't do that. I've seen it, and they're like, okay, I'm making great money, but I have had my demons with this. I want to see if I can balance that, still make this money, and control that demon, and see if I can help people who maybe, and they're going to be more conscious that they don't overserve people, I would imagine, too.
Yeah, I think it's really tempting as a bartender. You'll hear, take a shot with me, it'll be so much fun.
Did you ever do the fake ones?
Like
Coyote,
shot?
yeah, like Coyote Ugly, like
no, I should have.
Yeah,
I'll throw it on your tab and I'll take
exactly.
one. Just shoot a little bit of water. Mm-hmm. No, it's tempting for sure. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people where I was did it.
Now you're not official until you actually go to Spring Street and do her Jose and chase it with Mountain Dew.
Official for what though?
Official.
Like for here?
Official.
I'm never going to get her to do that.
I'm just kidding.
Jose Cuervo with Mountain Dew Chaser?
Yeah.
Yes. That's her signature drink.
Mountain Dew Chaser?
I'm going to sound probably snobby on here. I don't even drink
you
Mountain
don't.
Dew.
Ooh, no. I don't think anybody does. I
think my dad does. I think dads drink Mountain Dew.
Oh. No. I stick my tongue in it to make the tequila taste go away, and then I imagine one of the margaritas from Gym City or Tower, and I'm like, margarita in my mouth, and then it takes away the awful taste.
So it's more of a mental thing for you.
It's like, why do you do it? I'm like, I don't know.
I drank Mountain Dew in college because I didn't drink coffee, but then when I became a professional, I switched to coffee, and I don't drink Mountain Dew. And I tried Diet Mountain Dew. I thought that was gross. And I used to mainline Diet Coke. I mean, I'm talking a 2-liter on a weekend at home watching football, a couple 2 liters during the week, but then I really cut back on that. I might do a couple a month now, and I switched to drinking green tea and green raspberry tea and stuff like that because I know it's, you shouldn't drink that much. It's okay to have one every once in a while. It's good stuff, and we'll use some Starry in our mixed drinks around here, and that's all well and good, or Starry zero sugar, whatever. But yeah, I think your generation is just really except for the weed, they do a lot less of other vices. But the weed seems to be okay, probably because it's easier to get now because it's legal and you can go buy it and
it's acceptable now.
And the stigma is gone
Mm-hmm.
in my generation for marijuana. I know that, my parents and around that age group or around your age group, maybe it's still a little iffy. I'm never going to do it. But
I'm never going to do it. It's not a choice.
That was
It's not a thing. I know you were directing at me. We had this conversation yesterday. I've never done it. One of my children, who remain nameless, Michelle, is like, oh, you got to try it. You got to try it. I mean, especially the gummies and all that stuff. But it's just not.
Yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to.
No. I can have complaints about my cigar. I don't want to do something else like that.
I think the biggest thing, though, the obvious choice is the brain fog, for everything. I think your generation maybe is trying to stay away from the brain fog. And
well, we're all damaged from COVID.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That provided me with a lot of brain fog, I think.
How so?
Well, I had it. I was in college when I had it. And I was sick like the flu. I lost my taste. I lost my smell, which is odd, for 2 weeks. And I don't think I thought straight for months after. You just lose focus.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not a symptom of COVID. Maybe that's just me. But
no, I mean, I think I heard that, like, that was a symptom, is brain fog. But when you said, I think COVID, I was thinking the lockdown and,
that
just
changed everything.
Yeah.
I mean, things will never be the same.
Yeah.
One thing that did help, though, is I think people are a lot cleaner in general and more conscious with their health.
Washing their hands and things like that. Oh, I totally agree with that.
And staying away from people when they are sick.
Yes, I agree with that, too. So we talked the brain fog. Were you speaking from the personal experience of the brain fog? Or?
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm aware that, like, alcohol is probably I think it's the worst thing for your brain. I think more so even than marijuana in long usage. I don't know. And yeah, I'm burnt, Bob. Is that what you want me to say? I'm burnt.
I didn't want you to say anything. I just was
but,
asking.
I mean, I think I'm a high functioning marijuana consumer. Like I have some ideas.
Do you believe it helps your creativity?
No, not anymore, because I'm a bit of a habitual user. I use it primarily to calm my guts. I have a stomach issue where my stomach is paralyzed and it doesn't move, so food just sticks there and I'm constantly nauseous. Oh. And the medication that I was prescribed, and I was prescribed this even during pregnancy, which I still, like, blows my mind, was it made me worse than Anna Nicole Smith on a bad day. Just one pill, I would be like, hey, hi, everybody.
Well, look what Anna Nicole Smith has done for herself.
Yeah. Well,
she did, right?
She's got humor, too, by not being. You did know.
She did?
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently it wasn't humor. Apparently it was not checking Twitter lately or Googling something.
Go ahead and edit that out.
No, this is great.
No. There's no editing here.
What do you get, like, where do you get your news? Obviously Muddy River News, but, like, what platforms and stuff like that do you use to?
The platform that I get a lot of my news from is TikTok, but it's not just random people on TikTok. It's, NBC has a TikTok, ABC has a TikTok. I watch a lot of the TikToks.
Muddy River News has a TikTok.
Sure, I need to get on that, I think.
We're on Blue Sky now.
Yep.
So we have 300.
Surprising amount of followers.
Huh?
We got it fixed. We just need to use it more, I feel like. And, like,
the TikTok?
Yeah. We need to use it in the way that Emma was talking about. Emma is full of ideas. She has a lot of ideas, like, stirring in her brain, and it's fun to see some of these starting to come into fruition, and I think you'll enjoy them. But one of them is the TikTok. Like, explain how you think TikTok is newsworthy. Like, I don't know. Like,
how can we use it better? How should we utilize it? How should people?
Because right now I'm
utilize it?
using it as previewing Club Muddy because my daughter taught me TikTok and that's all I know. But yeah, how do we use it better?
I think for this specifically, we could run down stories on TikTok, or this week, this is what happened, this is what city council said, school board was this week, park board was this week, what happened then? And people's minds have changed so much with social media that sometimes people want to watch a 30-second video instead of reading a story. And I think that it's important to have both,
Yes.
but utilizing something like TikTok can do great things.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll draw on a younger audience. I know our Facebook, we have tons of followers on
Right.
Facebook, but if we look at it, it's probably more of the older crowd.
Well, I think that what you have to be, and if you're going to work here, you have to be able to do a lot of different things, because we can't just be pigeonholed into, okay, I'm just going to do this thing. It's like we all, we've got to do, your primarily focus is going to be some hosting and some video work, but you're still going to write some stories. Aspen is going to primarily write stories, and then she'll do a little of this other stuff too. So that's what we're just trying to do. David, he does the bulk of the writing and the covering all the gross court stuff, and then I just try to orchestrate everything. And then Brittany goes out and sells stuff and does videos. Ron sells stuff and orchestrates videos. Randy does videos. We just have all these people who just do an array of different things, and that's what we have to do. Number one, as a small company, but that's also what we have to do because that's what the consumer demands now. Because you can look at people who read our site, and you can see our average engagement time on Google Analytics is like 3 minutes per user. And that's crazy long. But if you're going to write a story that's going to be 1,500 words, then you're going to have a lot of that. And then the videos are going to get more interaction, but that interaction is going to be briefer. So again, we have to be able to kind of give everybody a little bit of what they want and have some diversity in our platforms and our products.
Definitely. Today I did the Morning Money, and yesterday I produced one of the shows. I filmed and edited a video for a press release coming up, and I wrote a story. So yeah. I've been really, that's what I did in college. I did Convergence, so I kind of learned a little bit of everything. But here I'm really stretching those muscles and getting to do a little bit of everything. Next year, it'll probably be more the video we're doing.
I think so too. But like I said, every once in a while we still got to do. I got to go cover meetings. We all have to go do these little things just to make it, because you just never know when something's going to happen. And when you, like I said, when you're generating interest from something, because there'll be people who will message us or email us and tell us about stuff that's going on. Like we had people who would complain about this whole Mill Creek water tower thing, and that came about. And last week we had a lady who complained about the Hannibal Street Department working slow and basically shutting her business down. So we got a tip on that, and we were able to do a story on that. So when you look at it that way, it's people will send us stuff, and then we're not going to do every story, but we're going to take the time to look at them when they're like, oh yeah, this could have some real impact. And then you go look at these stories, and you'll see that 1,500, 2,000 people read the story, watched the story, and then we'll do the feature stories, like you did the feature story on Savannah Santos, and that had huge readership. So again, we want to be responsive to people, and we want to give them what they want in the format they want. But again, we also have to remember that we're this little teeny tiny company. We're not really big yet, but maybe we'll be big someday.
Yet. So she mentioned the 30-second videos, and that's how some people kind of like it. That's what is up with their generation. They are technologically burnt because of
the attention spans
yeah.
are so short, and I'm guilty of that too. You can hold down the side of the screen and watch a video and double the speed, and I find myself wanting to do that with life sometimes. I'm like, I wish I could just put this person in 2x speed. And that's what social media has done to me.
My daughter has a hard time watching a movie all the way through now. And I feel like a lot of younger people are like that, The people that I chased off in the movie theater the other day probably just couldn't handle the fact that it was a 2-hour and 45-minute movie.
Well, I read something about how children are behaving worse because the shows that they make for kids now are catered to that short attention span. So it's training them so young to have that short attention span where they're entertained and then they're screaming, or they're entertained and then they're bored. So I've seen a lot of parents
put on your
tinfoil
hat. Real quick, put on your tinfoil hat. Do you think this is like purposely designed?
I'm not sure. I know a lot of people are going back to older movies like Sound of Music because they can't handle the kids' attention spans anymore. But
Kids aren't behaving because parents don't discipline their kids anymore. They want to be their best friend and not their parent. There, how's that?
I'm just talking about the media that they consume. It's not necessarily about discipline. It's about focusing and, getting that, understanding of things when you're young is so important. And these TV shows that bounce from color to color and thing to thing is just not good for them, I guess.
Show them reruns of Gilligan's Island. They'll be better off for it.
Okay, so we started like the bartending thing.
Nazis fun. Sorry.
God, you have to say it every time.
He mentioned Hogan's Heroes. It's one of my all-time favorite shows.
Okay, all right. Bartending. You graduated. Then what?
So I went to school, the J School. I did theater, and I stayed an extra year in Columbia and did more school. And then I bartended for 6 months and moved to Quincy. And I guess now I'm here.
Back home. You moved back home. You're a QHS graduate.
Yes, I'm from Quincy. I moved here on and off when I was little, and then freshman year it was permanent. So we've been in Quincy for 10 years now, my family and I. And it's kind of been fun to be back here with my parents because I'm older now. So it's more like a friendship, I mean, I'm not young anymore, so that it's not affecting my discipline.
You just said you're not
but
young anymore. Stop.
Also, she, she disciplines herself. I can't believe she just said she's not young anymore.
I'm not a child anymore. Now I'm 24, so it's easier to get along with my parents.
Older in 10 years and be like, I was a child. I don't know. That's true. It's all about like perspective and where you are, I think.
But again, it's also important for me, and I know we do joke around in here a lot, but the fact that yes, you are friends with my daughter, you're younger than my oldest son, and it's like, but I want to treat you as a professional because that's what you are.
And this is her first professional job.
First professional job. So when you go someplace else that later on, when it's not, and it's more stuffy and whatever, and it's like, oh, it's so much more fun at Mighty River. But you're right. I mean, again, we do understand that there are times where you just got to get the job done, and it's not going to be fun, and that's life. So
that's something nice about the J School, journalism school at Mizzou, is I worked at KOMU, I worked at KBIA, which is the radio station, so I kind of got a taste of what it would be like. Yeah. Now I work here, and I have been friends with Michelle for quite some time. I can't wait to see her tonight. But
Michelle's my daughter, by the way. We're just reminding everybody of that.
The one that tries to feed him gummies.
Yeah, her mother more than me. So so Hurricane Michelle will come blowing in here at some time this evening. So she's she's the one I haven't seen in a while, longer than any of the other ones. So it'll be nice to see her, and she'll trust me. We'll know when she's there. She's not quiet.
I love that.
She is not quiet. So, well, anyway, I just thank you again for being a part of the team, and we're looking forward to more good stuff next year from you. For the rest of this year, of course. It's not like you get to take December off, but we're gonna do some good things. And again, I think Muddy River has lots of room to grow, and I think our trajectory is good. But again, having good people here is what it's all about. And we're all human. We all just trying to do the job and do what we're supposed to do and be a good, solid part of this community. And I appreciate all the work that everybody puts in, even though, sometimes we all get on each other's nerves. That's life, that's business, that's home, that's family. But I really think that, we've made some great additions here this year to go with an already good staff that we had. So welcome aboard. And I look forward to working with you more over the next few months, years, whenever.
Thank you.
Welcome. On your note, anything to say?
Oh, I will not make you do a Jose shot to make it official. I think it's pretty official. I know.
I've only written 20 stories. I think you can.
That's official enough for me.
That's pretty official.
Content's what's official. So, all right. Well, thanks again, Emma. Thank you always.
Thank you guys
everything
for,
you do as well.
Making this Thanksgiving lovely.
Aw, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
If you celebrate Thanksgiving.
If not, just don't eat the turkey. Fine. See ya.